Man, take a seat back in the car, please. Take a seat back in your vehicle, please. Okay, man, we're being pulled over right now, so I need you to take a seat back in the car.
Are you serious?
Yes, ma'am, I'm not joking. Is your driver's license? You're being stopped for speeding.
Well, I'm already stopped, so technically can you stop me? Because you didn't pull me over because I parked.
You only, ma'am, you were about to go inside without a wallet, so I know you're only coming here because you know I was coming to pull you over. I can absolutely stop you if you've already parked, yes. Yes, and it's your driver's license. All right, take a seat back in your car so we can close the door. Put your feet back in the car so I can close the door, please. Okay, ma'am, stand up for me, okay? No.
No, why are you touching me?
Stop resisting.
Oh my God!
Stop resisting.
Oh my God!
Stop resisting.
Where's your
Stop
bag?
resisting.
Where's your...
Stop resisting right now. Get out of the car.
I'm getting out. Let me get out. Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
Get out of the car now.
Ow! Oh my God!
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh my God!
Put your hands behind your back. You're underwear wet. Put your hands behind your back.
God, why are you doing this to me?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh my God!
I'm about to tase you.
Leave me alone!
Put your hands behind your back.
Will you let me get down, please?
Get down.
I'm pissing off the stuff. Oh my God, I'm
Put your hands behind your back.
That's what I was doing. Are you serious? God.
Don't stand up.
I'm not trying to stand up. I'm trying to put my hands behind my back. Are you serious? You are full of bullcrap.
Quit moving your hands.
You just hit me so you can get him back.
Get up.
Ow! Bitch! Look at him!
Walk.
He's screaming like... He didn't do anything!
Put your feet.
What are you doing? He's a black police.
Walk.
Cause you're... Why are my hands so high?
Stop fighting.
Stop me! My hands
Open my
so
car.
high! Why are my hands so high?
Sit down.
Ow!
Jesus Christ. She has to fight in here. She didn't agree that I could pull her over when she's already parked.
So she came out of the car.
Well, I told her to sit back down, and I kept telling her to get back in to close your doors. No. I said, all right. I'm just going to handcuff her in the car. I'm not going to deal with it. And then she just starts fighting.
You all right? You hurt? Injured?
No, I'm good.
You want stop sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a video camera, but you got stopped by the police. That means stop.
I get pulled over!
Man, I knew it.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm good.
What's code for you?
Somebody, I don't know, she's walking the dog, she kept recording everything.
Oh, I don't care.
That lady,
Did you see what happened?
I just seen her resisting the whole time when I came through here down here. So,
Yeah, if you're a witness, if you don't mind hanging around, are you going in the Wendy's?
yeah, I'm going to the meeting. I have a gang meeting at 1 o'clock, so I
Okay.
want to get my information down.
Yeah, because my supervisor's going to want it.
I never hit her. I didn't want to hit her, man. But she was fighting pretty good. Those are hers, yeah.
I couldn't tell. I didn't hear what you said on the radio.
I was really inside the car fighting with her.
And
I need one at HEB, and I could tell right then you were
June didn't know what you said.
I said I need one at Wendy's. I don't know what it came across there.
That's what it came across. I need to
I do. This is your fault, by the way. You jinxed me.
Hey, you're shaving like me.
You could have gone home in the rain.
Did you ever get her identified?
Yeah, I did. Her ID somewhere. It's up here.
Let me run her for you.
Yeah. She was pretty far up ahead of me. I had to hit my license arms, go through a couple intersections. As I came up behind her, she hit the turn lane right here real quick and zipped into here and jumped out of the car. So I walked up and said, hey, can you stop, take you back in the car, you're being pulled over. She kind of argues a little bit, like, yeah, you're being stopped for speed, I need to see your driver's license, take your seat back in the car. She kind of hesitated to do all that. She starts arguing that I'm already pulled over, you can't pull me over, can you do that? I said, yeah, I can. And she's trying to say, well, I'm just eat. And I said, well, you were walking that way, but you didn't have your wallet with you. When I asked you for your ID, you had to go dig underneath your seat for your wallet. So I think you could pull me because you know I was going to pull you over. Anyway, she sits back down. So before I go back to the car, hey, put your feet back in. So I close the door. So I go do what I need to do. She tells me no. I tell her a couple times. She tells me no. So I'm not going to take the chance of her trying to walk off or do whatever. So I go to grab her to put her handcuffs secure in the car because she's not being cooperative. And she just starts fighting. I mean, she yanked the arm away and went towards the passenger side. So I just grabbed onto her because I didn't know what she was doing. And she was holding on to the steering wheel the entire time. I finally got her yanked out. Once we got out of the car, she took a swing at me. She missed. But as she swinging, I saw her coming, so I just threw her down. We got on the ground. I didn't want to hit her, so we just kept kind of wrestling. She kept getting back up. I had to slam her back down again. I grabbed my big cuffs. She slipped out of those, so I had to just hold her down. The entire time she's saying stand back up, telling them to taser. All I did the entire time was pick her up, slam her a couple times, and just try to pull her arms out. I didn't want to hit her, man. It's just a little bitty thing, but she put up a good little fight. I finally got her in handcuffs, and we started walking, and she starts trying to yank away again. So I jacked her arms up over her head and held her there until I got my door open. And secure her in the car. She started kicking the door. I was trying to close it, and she's just been going nuts. She's been back.
Still inside?
Yeah, I thought you were coming.
Okay. We'll talk to you.
So have you ever done a clean sweep of the police where y'all just clear out all of the police system and then start all over?
With the police department?
Mm-hmm.
I have heard of it being done in places, but I've never seen it done. Fortunately, I've never been a part of it.
You said fortunately or unfortunately?
Yeah, because someone wants to get fired just because.
Mm-hmm. But do you still believe that there's racism out there?
Yes. I do.
So how do you find out?
Let me ask you this, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe it goes both ways?
I believe it does. I do.
I do too.
But I believe that, I'm not gonna lie, I believe that Caucasians has more supremacy over black people. Let's be honest. They have more rights. And a lot more people are a little afraid of black people because of everything. Honestly, what they're trying to do is they're trying to wipe out the...
Why are so many people afraid of black people?
That's what I want to figure out. Because I'm not a bad black person.
I can give you a really good idea why it might be that way.
Why?
Violent tendencies. And I want you to think about that. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying that I can prove it or nothing. But 99% of the time, when you hear about stuff like that, it is the black community that's being violent. That's why a lot of the white people are afraid, and I don't blame them. There's some guys I look at, I know it's my job to deal with them, and I know it's probably going to go ugly, but that's the way it goes.
Do you ever feel like...
Some of them, because of their appearance and whatnot, some of them are very intimidating.
But do you ever wonder, could we quite possibly...
7, 4, 5, 2.
That, black people are the majority of the time on the defense. Because I feel like they're not safe.
I'm not saying, by no means am I saying that there is no racism, because I know there is, and everybody knows there is. And, I can throw that card just as easy as everybody else can. It doesn't do me a bit of good. I'm not going to gain anything from it.
But how do y'all figure out who are the racist ones?
who's being racist and who's not?
Yes.
To be honest with you, it's a matter of the opinion of the person digging into it.
Well, my question, how do y'all know before y'all even hire a person whether or not they're racist?
Well, trust me, there's a 4-hour psych exam we gotta go through. 4 hours of
So you
psychological testing that we go through prior to being hired. So yeah, there's a lot to it.
So do you think that maybe later on they build a certain type
Do I think what?
later on they build a certain type of image about certain people after working and then they become racist?
I'm sure they
Austin, Texas, pulled over for driving 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. An elementary school teacher was recorded on police dash cam video being slammed to the ground twice by an overly aggressive cop. After the woman was placed in the back of a patrol car, 2 separate videos caught the arresting officer making false statements regarding the arrest and another officer making racist comments to the restrained teacher. In spite of the glaring evidence against him, the officer responsible for the brutality, Brian Richter, will not face charges. On Thursday, a grand jury did not indict him. The grand jury heard 13 hours of testimony from 8 different witnesses over a 3-week period before returning the irresponsible decision. At 12:30 p.m. on June 15, 2015, Austin police officer Brian Richter pulled over 26-year-old Brian King for driving 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. According to Richter's dashcam video, the officer immediately ordered King to step back inside her car before informing the teacher that she had been stopped for speeding. Complying with his orders, King sat inside her car and gave Richter her driver's license as commanded. When ordered to put her feet inside so Richter could close her door, King asked, "Could you please hurry up?" Instantly losing his temper, Richter demanded, "Okay, ma'am, stand up for me." "Okay? Okay," King responded. Despite the fact that King had been complying with his commands and had agreed to exit her vehicle, Richter suddenly grabbed her for no apparent reason before she could step out of her car. "Why are you touching me?" King asked in absolute terror. "Oh my God. Stop resisting." Richter immediately shouted. "Get out of the car." "I'm getting out," King replied. "Let me get out." Gripping King's neck and arm, Richter abruptly pulled her out of the car and whipped her around before violently slamming her against the ground. "Put your hands behind your back," Richter ordered. "Oh my God," King pleaded. "Are you serious? I'm about to tase you," Richter threatened as King stood up and placed her hands behind her back. "Are you kidding me?" King asked as Richter swept her legs and threw her to the ground again for no apparent reason. "Put your hands behind your back," Richter repeated while pressing his full weight down on her back. "Would you let me get down, please?" King pleaded. After cuffing the 112-pound woman, Richter and a fellow officer led King to the front of his patrol car by lifting her arms behind her back in a torture position. Before she was placed inside the back of the car, King genuinely asked, "Why are my arms so high up?" Later in the video, Richter recounted the incident to a superior while blatantly making false statements. "Once we got out of the car, she took a swing at me," Richter lied. "She missed. And then she swings, and I saw it coming, so I just threw her down. We were on the ground. I didn't want to hit her. So we just kinda wrestled." Falsely stating that King had slipped out of her restraints and needed to be thrown against the pavement again, Richter gave a version of events that failed to corroborate with his own dashcam video. While sitting in the back seat, restrained in handcuffs, King was later subjected to a second officer's racist comments as he transported her to jail. "Why are so many people afraid of black people?" Officer Patrick Spradlin asked King in the second video. "That's what I want to figure out because I'm not a bad black person," King responded. "I can give you a really good idea why it might be that way," Spradlin continued. "Why?" King asked. "Violent tendencies," Spradlin answered. Ironically, King was non-violent when Richter suddenly pulled her out of the car without giving her any time to comply with his orders. Although she had initially been charged with resisting arrest, King's case was dismissed earlier this year, and she ended up paying $165 for driving 50 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. After requesting a federal investigation into the incident from the Justice Department, Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo publicly apologized to King and her family at a press conference in July. "I'm sorry that on the day you were stopped for going 15 miles an hour, you were approached and treated in a manner that is not consistent with this police chief and department," Chief Acevedo stated. "We're in 2016, and this will not be tolerated." But that apology is now in vain, as the cops who perpetrated this injustice will not be held accountable. Read more at http://thefreethoughtproject.com/police-body